I listened to Bad Omens for the very first time. It's story time with Chris. Welcome back to Storytime with Chris. This is episode 12 of this podcast, and once again, I'm trying out the camera thing to see how this goes. The first episode was all right. Of course, I recorded that out in my living room, and now I'm back in the office. So, how's it going? I just wanted to give a couple of updates since the last time. It's been about 2 weeks from tomorrow. So let's see what's happened in the last few days. Yesterday was Halloween. So Halloween is always a good time. My wife and I dressed up, and our dog as well. My wife was Winnie the Pooh. And it's funny, before we even, I don't know, she always said that when we got pregnant, and if we were pregnant around the time of Halloween, then she would dress up as Winnie the Pooh and do have the little belly and stuff. And I think it turned out really well. I loved her costume this year. I just got a Tigger t-shirt. And then for Flynn, he was Eeyore, and he wore a little pink bow on his tail. So nice and simple for him. So that was fun. We dressed up, handed out candy for a few minutes. Then we went over to the in-laws' house and just hung out with the nieces and nephews and in-laws and had a good time. So, Halloween next year will probably look a little bit different. I'm in charge of our costumes, and I've already started trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So yeah. Anyway, besides that, I don't think anything new has really popped up. The Niners have lost 3 games in a row. They just lost to the Bengals. They got whooped. So now they're in the bye week, and they just traded for, what's his name? Chase Young from the Commanders. So I guess we'll see if that fixes any of the issues that they've been having, but I really don't know if it's. I mean, it'll be a nice upgrade, and it'll add a good strong pass rusher. So it doesn't hurt, but I guess we'll see. There are a lot of other weaknesses on this team, and I guess it's a matter of waiting and watching. So no football for them this week, unfortunately. So I think my wife is going to try to convince me to let us decorate for Christmas on Sunday. So, yep, she is definitely the kind of person that as soon as Halloween is over, jumps right into Christmas. So it is what it is. She enjoys it a lot, so I let her do it. Even though it's not my cup of tea necessarily, it is fun. So besides that, nothing really to talk about, I don't think. I always forget what's happened since the last time I've recorded. So, well, yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I've got to update you guys on. Yeah, nothing to update you guys on. So anyway, we'll go ahead and jump right into my review of Bad Omens by Bad Omens. Self-titled album. And I think so. I've listened to some Bad Omens songs before. They pop up on my playlist occasionally. So I have heard a couple of their songs. I don't remember which ones I've heard or how new they are or anything like that. I do know that I recognized a few of the songs when I was listening to this album, so I'll point those out as we go. But anyway, let's jump right into it, shall we? So the first song on the album is Glass Houses, and this was a great song to introduce the album. It seems like the kind of song that really sets the tone for the album and would also be a strong start, a strong opener for a concert. The beginning hook is, it's very anthemic, and it's followed by a very heavy guitar drop, which got me headbanging. So I enjoyed the screaming on the first verse. It's still understandable, but it gets the emotion across, and that goes for the second verse as well. One reason that some people, including myself, struggle with metal music is that it's not always easy to understand what the screams are saying, and sometimes you have to look up the lyrics, and that can take away some of the enjoyment of the listening experience. So, but that doesn't seem to be the case with this band. The rest of the song is put together very well with, areas of high and low intensity. I really would not be surprised if this band has used the song as a concert opener. So, good start to the album. This one gets an 8. Song number 2 is Exit Wounds. This song is one that I would personally characterize as an average metalcore song. Inherently, it's good, but it's not necessarily anything special. It's a good song to have in the background of doing a workout or just doing stuff. It has good vocals, both clean and screaming. The breakdown is pretty cool, but besides that, it doesn't really stand out to me. So, average metalcore song, 7. Song number 3 is The Worst in Me, and this is a nice little change up in pace. The slower tempo is pleasing to the ears. We get to hear the singer's clean vocals a little bit more than the previous 2 songs, and I personally enjoy the raw nature of his voice. Now, I know there are some bands that have multiple singers. Sometimes they have, a clean singer. Sometimes they have one for just screaming. So I don't know if they have just one guy. I don't know. At some points, it kind of sounded like they had 3 on this album, but I could be completely wrong about that. Maybe there's even more. Maybe there's less. Who knows? But yeah, I enjoyed the raw nature of this singer's voice. We live in a world where, there's so much auto-tune and, especially with pop music, everything has to be very clean sounding, very clear, concise. And metal goes away from that most of the time. And I think that's why I like metal a lot. It feels a little bit more authentic and it brings out musicians' emotions a little bit more. So, yeah, the guitars in this song are satisfying and it's a solid song. So 7.5 is my score. Okay, I think this is song 4, Feral. It's a fantastic start to the song. The first 55 seconds really showcase this band's creativity and provide a unique experience to music. It has almost like an animalistic quality to it, which complements the song's title. And this is another banger of a song. It's another one where I found myself headbanging to quite a bit. The bridge has a beautiful build-up, and it's a strong contender for my favorite part of the song, with the intro being its rival. really like the intro. And honestly, it's a good song. And so far, it's my favorite from the album. And this one gets an 8.5. Song 5 is Enough, Enough Now. And this one took me by surprise. The beginning made me feel like it was for sure leading up to a heavy drop. Instead, the piano continues on and has clean vocals and a nice calming rhythm to it. The screaming in this song reminds me of early Hollywood Undead, who, if you don't know, has been my favorite band for a long time. And so the screams remind me specifically of some of the earlier songs like Knife Called Lust and The Loss, some of their stuff from, the Swan Song's B-sides, or even earlier before that, some of the unreleased stuff. So it was really intriguing to hear that sort of sound paired up with the piano. The two sounds contrasted really nicely. The pain behind the song can be felt very strongly, and there's a build up to the last couple of minutes, and that are executed perfectly. And the drop, you can kind of feel the drop coming. You can anticipate it, but it hits even better than you might imagine. The drums, the guitar, the vocals are tied together like Harry Potter and Voldemort. It's beautiful. It gets an 8.3 out of 10. All right, I think this is song 6, which is Malice. I'm pretty sure the song is written by someone who was self-aware that Venom had taken them over from Spider-Man. In all seriousness, this feels like a song written by someone's inner demons and their struggle with it. We all have them, and they're all different, and we handle them differently. I think it's good when people put those things out there, especially in the form of music. It should be openly talked about more. And with that being said, it's a good song, but nothing about it really stood out to me. It's a little generic sounding, and so I'll give this one a 6.5. It's 7 on the album. I should have included the track number on here. Hedonist is number 7. So this is the first song on the album that I think I've heard before. The song is very high energy. It's a constant go song. I actually already added it to my workout playlist. So, this is the type of song that I listen to before a football game or any other situation where I need to get amped up. I enjoy the tempo, the juice, and the electricity the song brings. A solid 8. It would be higher, but the song's a little bit short. So, okay, so song number 8 is Broken Youth. Hold on, I need to take care of something here. Okay, song 8 is Broken Youth. It's a solid follow-up to Hedonist. This song has a good balance of heaviness and anthemic zones. Another contender for the best live song off this album, at least I imagine so. This is the kind of song that really speaks to certain people. If you are one of those people and, then you want to shout your heart out to it because you feel it. And this is a broad statement, but I feel like a lot of metalheads or people in this community have a lot more feelings and emotions than you might think. I know for me, I'm aware of my emotions and feelings, but sometimes music is what helps me understand what exactly those things are. And this song feels like a space for for people who usually feel alone to come together with other people who are just like them. Sometimes people in the metal community feel misunderstood. Sometimes the music is misunderstood, but when you find a group of people like you, it's songs like this that can help you make those connections. The song is very well done, and I highly enjoyed it. 8.7. All right. Crawl, which is song number 9 on the album. This is another example of how versatile this band is. It's become obvious that they have a lot of talent and are a unique, art-driven group. This is a nice song with beautifully written lyrics, and it provides a nice interlude to the final part of the album. I highly enjoy when bands switch things up and add some variety. I'm not a fan of bands who have songs that all kind of sound the same. So this is a good song, solid, 7.8. The Letdown, which is song number 10. It's a classic heartbreak song. This song hits the feels if you've been in a situation like it before. The band does a good job expressing the emotions they felt, and the music complements it well. This is a good song, but doesn't really speak to me right now. 7.0. Okay, we're down to our final 2 songs on the album. So, number 11, the penultimate song is Reprise, which is the sound of the end. Reprise, parentheses, the sound of the end. I'm not sure if Bad Omens is considered an emo band, but there have definitely been some emo themes throughout the album. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was noticeable. This song seems to be about someone struggling and hoping that they don't have to die to overcome those struggles. It is something that a lot of people can relate to, and hearing something like that or hearing another person kind of going through the same thing can help a lot of those people. Again, this is another strong, emotional song with great music composition behind it. This one would be fun live as well, and it could bring out some emotions in people who may not always show it. So it's really good, 7.3. And that brings us to the final song on the album, and this is The Fountain. To be honest, this song wasn't my favorite on the album. This whole album was very, very good and a great first impression of the band, honestly. So I'll probably end up listening to some more Bad Omens as I go along. This one just doesn't have the depth that I would have liked from an album finale. The song did a good job providing an emotional atmosphere. It's a good standalone song, but it leaves me wanting a little bit more. It's almost like a transitionary song. It's leading to an epic finale, but doesn't quite get there. Bad Omens does such a good job of mixing their kind of slower songs with the higher energy, more aggressive ones. So even though this last one did let me down a little bit, it's a good song, and we'll end the album with a 6.5. A 7.6. So it's a solid album. And so I'll give you my final conclusions before moving on. I wasn't really, I mean, I had listened to some Bad Omens before. I know right now they're one of the most popular bands out there, especially for like the metalcore community. And so I wanted to give them a listen. You know, I'm also trying to discover some new music, and I've tried this before with other bands, and I've done album reviews on bands that I'm familiar with. So, kind of stepping out of that and going to a brand new band that I wasn't super familiar with was a lot of fun, actually. And I got a lot out of it. Bad Omens gave me a good first impression. Musically, they have some talented, guitarists and drummers. Their singer or singers, if they have multiple, do a really good job of mixing their clean and screaming vocals. Is it clean and dirty? I don't know what exactly it's called when it's screaming. I know it's clean vocals when it's clean vocals, but yeah, I enjoy the raw nature of the lead singer's voice when he does clean vocals. And I think this is a band that I've listened to some more. I'll have to check out some more of their albums. I think I want to mix things up for now, so I might not listen to Bad Omens album for a little while I discover other bands. But yeah, this was a solid album. One I would probably, I'll listen to definitely a few songs off of it. I've already added a few onto my workout playlist, which is probably my favorite playlist. I mean, I call it my workout playlist, but I use it for everything in general. So it's also just my listening playlist. But let me know what you thought of my album review and what you think of Bad Omens. And let me know if there are any other bands that you think I should check out or any other albums that you think I should check out. So, yeah, anyway, thanks again. This has been Storytime with Chris.